Well, I got my headphones on. Maybe I ought to take them off because I really can't hear nothing. What's up out there in YouTube land? I'm just hanging. I guess I'm waiting for supper or the sun to go down. What's it, Monday night? So it's Monday night football night, which I don't watch no more. I remember one night, oh, I was hanging out with Crazy Gino in Sundance over in Bay Ridge, and we smoked so much weed that then they split to go cop some hash, and so I was left in the crib by myself, and Monday Night Football was on. I think it was the Dallas Cowboys against maybe it was Bo Jackson and the Oakland team. It was a big game, but it seemed to me that every play was scripted, that they knew in advance, everything. And I suppose that that's what the people espousing, the philosophies of the New World Order, the Illuminatis, the Bilderbergers, trilateral commissions, I try to figure that out because I hear that all the time, where is this stuff coming from? I mean, is it just like a rehashing of the protocols of the elders of Zion, which was a little combustible thought up by Henry Ford, among others, to denounce a certain segment of society that did not profess any profound belief in Christianity. I'm trying to show off my new chapeau. And I wonder if it was, was I paranoid, or did I have a heightened sense of awareness that the entire football game was some sort of orchestrated conditioning, brainwashing to a population that was already brainwashed. And I refuse to believe that. I mean, just like if you watch the World Series and you're paranoid, or a horse race especially, where you think the jockey hasn't moved or he's positioned himself in some sort of hopeless position that he cannot extradite himself from, and therefore your wager goes up in smoke. So when the jockey gets back to the paddock, you hurl invective at him, you motherfucker, you little fucking frog, you little midget, Go back to fucking, Panama or some shit, But, the same thing with balls and strikes. You think the umpires, I mean, there's a pitch that gets hurled down the middle of the plate, like 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and he calls it a ball. Obviously, either he's, his IQ is 35, or he's blind, or the fix is in, or he's trying to manipulate the result, according to a proviso he's received before, strapping on his tools of umpiring, his chest protector and his shin guards and his, face mask. But anyway, you hear a lot of this, end of the world jargon on certain segments of the frequencies that we are allowed to communicate on. And it's very dispiriting. They blame people and, international bankers, and I hear the name the Rothschilds comes up. And, it makes me edgy why one particular segment of a vast melange, a milieu of all kinds of races and people, and there's swindlers on every continent, and there's bad people in every socio-economic and ethnic group. Why single out one particular entity for more viciousness and hate than anybody else? The shitheads and the assholes, they don't know any denomination or particular group. They infiltrate and propagate and manipulate and populate and fornicate and devastate every group. One rotten apple spoils the barrel, they say. So I suggest, before you make categorical assertions, and before you and I'm not saying you, my viewers, who, are almost non-pareil, on an ascendancy. If there was an eagle on Pharaoh's spear, my audience would definitely, be an eagle flying high over the pyramids at Giza, and the only thing you can do, is to try to think these things through logically. It makes no sense that one particular group can manipulate any events other than the events in their own lives, and maybe a friend or a wife or a relative, and wreak havoc on their particular situation. But the ability of anyone, although, if you subscribe to Thomas Carlyle's theory, or even if you're a student of history in general, one person can bring about great devastation. It is true. You only have to look at people like Stalin or Attila the Hun or Hitler or Richard Nixon, who paraquated the weed, so that an entire generation of potheads wound up with lung carcinomas and wheezing and emphysema, pneumonia, and every other freaking disease of the bronchial system, whatever the fuck they call it. But diseases of the lung, I suppose, is the layman's term. Anyway, I'm probably running out of my YouTube time, so keep on a good foot and do.